I survived 100 days as a villager in Minecraft. After my village was raided by illagers and completely destroyed, I was the only survivor. But I didn't have the skills to rebuild this all by myself or to fight off these stinking mobs. So for the next 100 days, I set myself 3 main objectives. 1. Build a mega village with farmers, guards, teachers, and miners to make it the biggest village ever seen. 2. Become the mayor of my village, find love, and maybe even have my own villager baby. 3. Train an army big enough to attack the Illager King and take him down once and for all. Do I have what it takes to survive the 100 days as a Minecraft villager? Or will I end up with a town full of nitwits? Stay tuned to find out what happens next. Day 1 in my village, and man was I excited for the day. Because today I started my new villager job as a teacher. I know, me as a teacher, lol. I went inside my new classroom early to get a feel for the place when I heard some commotion going on outside. I looked outside and I noticed the village soldiers all running in the same direction. I went outside to check it out. Probably another skelly attack. Man, am I sick of those things. But when I saw what it really was, I freaked out! We were under attack by an entire illager army. I ran back to my room and I used the secret tunnel I built for such an attack. It got me to an underground tunnel where I had some basic tools and supplies for a bailout. I climbed my way out of the caves, but I couldn't see my village from here. I had to get higher. And after I got to the top of the hill and looked down, I realized not only was my village destroyed, but I was the only survivor. I had no idea the Illager Tower was so close to us. Wow. Over the next few days, I walked and walked to try and find a new place to set up camp. But every place I went, I was either attacked by stinking mobs, or the forest was just too thick to survive in. I struggled to even find my way out. I did manage to stumble across the Illager Center though, but I was too weak to put up any kind of fight against them. But my luck changed on day 6 when I found this place. A nice big open area with 3 different forests surrounding it. A system of caves under it to make a new mine shaft, and a few different water sources. And best of all, not one single illager outpost in sight. Jackpot! I grabbed some wood from the trees nearby, and by sundown, I had my own house in my new village. What should I call it? How about Forest View Village? I love it. Over the next few days, I had one task in mind. I needed to build the town hall. And to do that, I was going to need a diamond. So into the mines I went, very scared, but positive it was the first thing I needed to start my village and have any hope in surviving these 100 days. And it wasn't long before I found not only enough diamonds for the town hall, but also these obsidian. Jackpot! After that, I grabbed more wood for my town center build. Then once I had all the supplies I needed, I began the build of my town center. This town center was going to allow me to hire a village architect to come and help me not only plan the build of the village, but also assign wandering villagers jobs within the village itself. And finally, on day 15, it was complete. All I had to do was put my picture frame here and my sign on top, and boom, my new village town hall. It wasn't long before I had my first visitors, the village architect and a tradesman. Both of these guys offered new structures and villagers for my village in exchange for emeralds, and that meant more mining. I spent days 16 to 20 planning out my new village and building some houses for my new village people to live in. Then I got to work looting to find me some emeralds. I started by mining into this temple, and boom! These chests had 6 inside and a golden apple. Sweet! I repeated this process until I had over 20 emeralds. It was time to head back and see what I could trade them for. Once I made it back, I met with the architect, and I traded him 13 emeralds for a 4-bedroom structure. Then I attached it to my first building, and just like that, I now have a home for those guys to move into. And finally, on day 20, I got to work building the start of my farm to grow my own food. And I even traded the tradesman for 2 farmer badges to give any wandering villagers so they could start work immediately. Look at me go, I'm so proud. Everything was going great until night 21, when I heard some screams coming from outside. We were under attack. A horde of zombies had walked right into us, and now they're trying to eat my new villagers. I had no choice. I grabbed my sword and I started to fight them off one by one. Eventually, I killed them all. We were safe for now, but I was going to need some backup. If I was going to grow this village, I was going to need guards to protect it. So the first thing I did was make a few stone and wooden pillars around the village so that I could set up guard posts for them to patrol. Then I bought these guard posts from the architect. I then placed them on all the pillars I had made, and the only thing I needed now was the guards. And with the help of the tradesmen for these guard tokens, I changed these wandering nomads into my village personal army. Amazing! By night 30, we were safe at last, but I was going to need to get a move on if I wanted all of my challenges completed by day 100. Days 31 to 40, I got to work building new structures around my village. I made at least 3 buildings to turn into new homes. I built these 2 places side by side to make a library and a school to help educate my future villagers. And I had plenty left over to make into a butcher's, blacksmith, and maybe even a tavern. By day 40, my village was coming along fantastic. I even managed to convince some new wanderers to stay and take jobs helping out. But on day 41, everything changed. Wow, what a hunk! Hubba hubba! Who and what is he? I pretty much stalked this guy around my village for an hour or so, until eventually he spotted me. Oh my gosh, he's coming over here! I introduced myself as littlekellyyt, the creator of this village.
Hey, pretty lady. I love your name. It's so hot. My name is Stud. Yeah, you heard me right. I can play any instrument you want, and I was kinda hoping to hang around here and see what this village has to offer a wandering musician like me. Is that okay with you, Miss Lady?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear a word he was saying to me. I was just looking into those beautiful eyes. Anyway, I showed him to his new home. Not only has the love of my life just walked in, I now have an entertainer for my village. Day 41 was a whirlwind. Time to get some beauty sleep. I started day 42 by chopping down some trees at the top of this hill. It was all going well until I spotted some archer illagers heading right for us. No way is this happening again. I went straight to one of the guards and told him what I saw, and he moved immediately, but he was going to need backup. Ah! Full battle ahead! Or full steam into battle? I haven't a clue what to say, so my bad. We kicked their butts, and my guards did amazing work. We have quite the team here, but I'm going to need more if this place is to get any bigger. I spent the next few days building this place, and by day 47, it was ready. My very own army barracks. This place will sleep at least 10 guards and allow them to train to become better and more skilled with their weapons. I also totally forgot to tell you guys that the stud has been bringing me flowers the last few days. I think he's gonna ask me out any day now. Now that my village was getting bigger, I was gonna need more livestock to feed everyone. I was rounding these guys up when I spotted this little fella across the water. An adorable little bear cub. I went over to him, cautiously. I mean, his mama bear could be nearby. But after a little while, it seemed to me like he was lost. Only one thing to do. Bring him home! I brought him back to the heart of the village and I put him into my room. I need to build you a bigger pen, little man, but until then, you're safe here. I managed to round up a few animals yesterday, but now all I need is to build them all little pens to live in. I have one for the chicken and one for the pigs already built, but now I'm moving on to my pen for the cows. And finally, a little pen for my piggies. After a quick chat with the tradesman, I turned this nitwit into my rancher. Just shows you there's a job for everyone. Before my rancher could work to their fullest potential, we were going to need a storage house in the village so they could store the food for the animals. Now all that's left to do is mark the building and boom! We now have a storage area for all my workers to put their stuff. Night 50 and this place is finally starting to look like a real life village. Day 51 started out like the rest. I was with the architect planning our next build when all hell broke loose. I ran outside to see what was going on when I saw in the distance a necromancer. These things are terrifying. I ran back to my house and grabbed full armor and my swords from my chest. Then I regrouped with the guards who were already taking care of the necromancer's minions. I know how to defeat this guy. I had to kill one of his minions and then hit him when he's exposed. The guards were doing a great job of keeping the other villagers back, but I've already lost one to this fight. I needed to step in. I killed his minion, and then I went in on the attack. He was gone. We did it, guys! Woo! Hell of a job. It was clear to me that I needed to build the army bigger, with more barracks and even more guards, or else we'd be screwed if a bigger attack came our way. If I was going to build more barracks and take on more villagers, I was going to need more supplies. I started the groundwork for the new barracks by day 53. I held interviews with the architects to fill some new roles in the village on day 54. And by day 58, not only did we get the barracks finished and new guards, we also finished the butchers, the blacksmiths, and the new kitchen. And this guy right here is gonna be feeding us all every day. And I cannot wait to have something other than apples or bread every day. Day 59, and I was heading back to my house to grab some supplies when I found this book waiting for me. Dear little Kelly, I've been trying to ask you on a date for quite some time now, and I just can't seem to find the words, so instead, I want you to join me tonight at this location. OMG, it has to be from Stud! He's finally asking me out on a date! I waited until sunset as instructed in my note, and when I finally got there, I was blown away. Wow, look at this! A little picnic just for us. He told me he wanted me here at this time so we could watch the sunset together. He's so romantic. And just before we left, he turned and asked me something I thought I would never hear.
Little Kelly, will you marry me?
Yes! Yes! Of course I'll marry you! This is the best day of my life. We wasted no time in planning the wedding. We just couldn't wait to get married. This was going to be the party of the year and a great way for all my new villager people to get to know one another. By day 68, it had really come together. I couldn't believe I was getting married in 2 days. The day before the wedding, I was checking everything from the cake to the altar and seating to the tavern for the after party. I cannot wait. And I didn't have to. Day 70, the day I have been dreaming of about my entire life. There he is, at the top of the aisle. Oh, I'm so excited. Hello, how do you do? Hello, thanks for coming. Hey. You know what's great about a villager wedding? They're super quick.
You happy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. You're married.
Woo! This has been the best day of my life, and now I'm married. The next few days were gross. We had to clean everything up after the wedding. Pity you can't get cleaner, villagers. On day 75, while on a recon mission, I found yet another one of those illager towers. But this time, it was so much closer to my village. This is not good. There was no way I could let these guys get closer and attack my village. So I brought the fight to them. Attack! My soldiers ran in ahead of me, clearing the way for my attack. The mission is to kill every illager inside and loot everything we can find. This was insane! There were evokers inside spawning vexes and even some vindicators upstairs. We fought as hard as we could. We even lost some good men, but we stayed on the offensive and eventually, we did it! We had won the battle, but the war was still going strong. I looked through the chest and found a ton of emeralds and a good few diamonds. Not a bad day's work. My final gift to the Illager King? Fireworks. Burn, baby, burn. It's time to head back home. On day 76 to 80, I added some new structures to my village, including this mine shaft, this new merchant stall where villagers can buy and trade items for whatever they need, and some more new houses for my ever-growing population. I also added some new farms because villagers gotta eat. Oh, and we kind of had a kitchen fire the other day, but it's okay. Nobody got hurt. Only the pie got burnt. Oh gosh, the pie. The poor pie. Nothing much changed on day 81, apart from maybe one small thing. I had a child! Isn't she cute? Oh my gosh, like so cute. Now don't get me started on her name, okay? This was her father's doing, but still, she's adorable. I spent up until day 90 just checking in on my villagers. I needed to make sure that they were happy and fed, that they were getting a good education, and that they were happy with all their jobs. If this was going to be the first mega village in Minecraft, it needed to be a place where everybody could be happy. Oh, also I added this cool new wildlife safari place. It was a petting zoo until Terry the tiger over there decided to turn one of my villagers into a snack. But yeah, it's now day 90 and honestly, things are looking sweet. All is good in Forest View Village. Of course, on day 91, this all changed. We were under a full-scale attack from the Illager army, and they don't plan on taking any prisoners. I immediately put my child into my secret panic room in my house. You'll be safe here, I promise. Then I grabbed my full diamond armor and my weapons. I rallied my troops, and we went to war! I charged at the Illagers with everything I had. This was it. We had to protect our village at all costs. I fought and fought, taking down every enemy I came in contact with. We lost some soldiers, but we kept fighting. If we lose this battle, we would lose the entire village. The battle lasted well into the night, but eventually, we came out as the winners. My village took a huge amount of damage, and we lost so many good villagers today, but we survived. Now is the time to rebuild and regroup. Before we could retaliate, we first had to rebuild. Even though our village took some serious damage, the will of my villagers is strong. We will fix this place and we'll take out that Illager king once and for all. Day 99, the village is back to 100% health again with all the villagers working and everybody is safe. I added a new barracks and 10 new guards to the village. I checked in on the animals to make sure that they were all okay. Good boy, Grizzy, good boy. Now is the time for rest, because in the morning, I'm bringing the war to the Illager king. When I got back to my house, I noticed a sign on my door. No way! I've been made the mayor of this village. That's the highest achievement any villager can get. I'm so honored. And tomorrow, I'm really gonna earn my title. Here it is, day 100, the Illager's King's Castle. I have my troops positioned all around the King's Castle ready to move on my command. This ends today. Either I or the King dies. Attack! In went my brave soldiers, creating a passage for me to go in and find the king. This is insane. There are so many of them. They just keep coming. Oh gosh, what have I done? I had no choice but to keep moving up through the castle. I had to find the Illager king and defeat him. The inside of this place is like a maze, but I had to figure it out. I continued to push my way to the top with some help from my soldiers. We are nearly there. Keep going! Eventually, I had made it. Only a few more steps until I was face to face with the Illager king. I could feel the tension building. And finally, there he was. Ah! He wasted no time! He wants blood, and so do I. Bring it on! We traded punches and we both fought hard, but there was no way I was losing, not today. That's when I noticed all the soldiers were dead. It was only me left here with him. Ah! With that one final war cry, I did it! I slayed the Illager king once and for all. Now my people can be safe forever. We did it, guys! Woohoo!